The 20th of November 2019 marks the 30th anniversary of the adoption of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, the most widely ratified human rights treaty in the world. The CRC was ratified in the Gambia in 1990. The convention is aimed at protecting, promoting, fulfilling, and representing the rights of the child. I am your host, Jenna Basonko, and you are watching the Youth Dialogue. On this episode, I will host the Honorable Speaker of the Children's Assembly, Sarata Sise, and a representative of UNICEF, Mamadou Ba. Stay tuned as we have a conversation surrounding CRC at 30. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. When we return, the conversation starts. Welcome back, viewers, from that short break. Like I mentioned in the introduction, today our topic of discussion is the Convention on the Rights of the Child at 30. And I am so excited to have with me Sarata Sise, who is the Honorable Speaker of the Children's Assembly. Since you were elected, I didn't have the chance to congratulate you. So congratulations, Sarata, for this. We are so proud of you.
Thank you very much. I'm more proud.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sarata, let's talk about your motivation to be the Speaker of the Children's Assembly in the Gambia. What really motivated you?
Well, I have many things that have motivated me, and one of this is to stand and fight for the rights and welfare of the children, because I am a child. So I think of this particular platform that there will be an establishment of the Children's National Assembly. So when I was into this platform, I tried by all means to be the speaker in order to formulate, express, and attain some of the issues that are disturbing children in the country.
Yeah, you talked about issues that are disturbing children in the country.
Yeah.
Talk to us about these issues. I know it's a wide range of issues, but talk to us about the main ones so that we can remind people of some of the problems that children are facing in the Gambia.
Well, we have child marriage, FGM, sexual abuse. We have child labor, child trafficking, and lots of this.
Okay, so how does this affect the child? You talked about child marriage, you talked about child labor, trafficking. How does this affect the welfare of a child?
Well, in affection to this, it could affect the child either physically, mentally, psychological, and all those stuffs. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think children are receiving the protection that they need? Because you talked about all these harmful things that are happening, ranging from child labor, ranging from child marriage. Do you think enough protection is put in place for children in the Gambia in relation to all these terms?
Well, on the other hand, yes, and on the other hand, no.
Okay, because so explain to us.
Yes, in the sense that we have now a ministry, that is Ministry of Children, Women and Social Welfare, that is a ministry that stands to fight for the rights and welfare of the children. We have the Children's National Assembly also there for the children. So that I can say yes, because if these two bodies collaborate together and then work as one, then it's going to be a great improvement. No, in the sense that we still have other children behind whose rights and welfare are neglected. So yes, on the other hand.
Okay, how are those children's rights neglected?
Neglected in the sense that we're trying to improve on child labor to see to it that children are not outside working, or they have harsh labor on them. They've been sexually abused, trafficked, and whatsoever. We're trying by all means to improve on that. But still, we have parents out there whom you know, they're still allowing their children to go and sell on streets. And this, if you sell on street every day, I come and buy what you're selling. Every day I come and buy it. So if you don't have any customer, you come to me and I'll buy it again. So I, as an adult, can take advantage of that to rape you or to kidnap you, to traffic to you. So we should be very careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which means, Sarita, you're talking about attitudinal change generally
Yeah.
in relation to
Yeah.
protecting children.
Thank you.
It has to do with parents. It has to do with, you know, citizens in general.
Yeah.
So it comes down to attitudinal change, and I think it's everybody's responsibility when it comes to the protection of the rights of the child. I
Yeah.
totally believe.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the children's assembly over there. I mean, I'm so excited to see all these young people becoming honorables. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
Honorable Sarita there. So talk to me about what you've done so far since the establishment and some of the plans that you have. I mean, this should be an opportunity to tell people out there that the Children's National Assembly is vibrant and it's needed in the Gambia.
Well, the things that we've done is we have had our first sitting and then discussed. The first discussion was based on drug abuse, and then we hope so that we could write some of the things disturbing children. Take this to the main National Assembly, present it to the main speaker, and they will budget and approve, and it will be implemented as a law.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see that.
Okay. And what else have you done? Just that?
And no, we have regions and municipalities that combine together to form this, and in each region, we just like if you from West Coast, you mobilize students, sensitize them, go to communities, do radio talk shows, have a conversation with your regional governor, explain some of the issues. Because if you go to schools, talk to students, when they tell you their problems, you will be able to analyze all those stuffs, present it to the governor, ask the governor around the area he is responsible of, what are some of the things that are disturbing his people. He will tell you as well. So you come to the national level, when we have sittings, you present it, then we see what to do.
Okay, so that is how it works at the Children's National Assembly. So let's talk a little bit about education. I mean, you're going to school, you're just 15. So talk to us about when it comes to the educational aspects. Education is a right of every child. So what is your assessment of the educational system in the Gambia and access to education for children, and the list goes on? How is the environment in schools, and what improvement do you think can be done?
Well, in other schools, not every school, because in other schools they have conducive environments for students to learn, but in other schools, just like the girl child could be there menstruating, but they don't provide sanitary pads, and that particular child will be ashamed to explain her problems to other people, because some of the teachers, you tell them this, they said this girl is shameless or whatsoever, but that is not the case. So this culture of silence is what we need to stop, because in school we need a conducive environment. If you see students are there, it's because of the teachers. If students are not there, teachers will not be able. If teachers are there and students are not there, learning will not be that much conducive. So in order for us to have this interaction between us, so we need to have this conducive environment where students, especially the girl child, could be able to express their ideas and feelings to voice it out. Okay,
so at the parliament over there, are you thinking of passing a bill or something, I don't know your terms, passing a bill or something over there to say that all schools should be provided with sanitary pads? Do you have any plans?
Not yet. We coming to have a second sitting, and I know that, and I hope so, that when we're doing that second sitting, we'll put all those things into consideration, then it will be passed to the main National Assembly for discussions. For discussions. Wow, this is brilliant. I know the people watching out there, as they are as excited as I am, because I'm extremely excited, you know, seeing a young person at the age of 15, who knows, she might become the next Speaker of the National Assembly. I mean, are you ready for that? Are you ready to become the next Speaker of the National Assembly? Very ready. Very ready? Yeah. Oh, this is exciting already. So we wish you well in relation to that. Thank you. The fact that you are brilliant enough to be there for the Speaker, there's a possibility that, you know, the future, we never know what the future holds. So let's talk about the CRC at 30 and what it means for Gambian children. What do you think it means for Gambian children? Well, it means a lot. because I could say the CRC was approved or ratified by in the Gambia here in 1990, and we're saying that on the 20th of this month is the 30th anniversary of the CRC, Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this CRC, to Gambian children, it means that we have not only the Ministry of Women and Children, not only the Children National Assembly, but we also have people outside, international, that are standing to help in promoting, protecting, fulfilling and respecting the rights and welfare of every child.
Okay, but when it comes to the CRC, do you think it's at the disposal of all these young children for them to know? Do you think Gambian children actually know the CRC like you do? I know you know it to your fingertips, but do you think there's proper sensitization done in relation to all these children out there to know their rights? Because sometimes when you know your right as a child, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I think that most of the Gambian children right now know what CRC is. Because the reason why I'm saying that is, we the members of the Children National Assembly, we are 105 members.
Okay.
And among these 105 members, we belong to regions and municipalities. And these municipalities, we go out, communicate with people. So that idea of knowing CRC is a medium. We the medium to pass. We pass it through to them. Okay. It is known to them through us.
Okay, so you mean each and every one of you over there coming from different municipalities, regions, you do some sort of a sensitization when it comes to your schools?
Yeah.
So what is the response? What is the level of response from your peers in relation to the CRC? Do you think they understand it enough to an extent that they're comfortable? Somebody cannot violate their rights, or if somebody's trying to violate their rights, they can stand boldly and say, this is my right?
Of course, they can do that.
Okay.
Because now in the Gambia here, hey, you stand and tell a child, this is my right.
Yeah.
The person will try to fight and tell you that this is my right. Well, not every Gambia, you know, it's very difficult to gather everybody at one place and try to explain.
Yeah.
But I am sure that majority of these people knows or have an idea about what the CRC means. Yeah. So most of these Gambian children, some of them, in fact, they know more than me.
About it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this social media, they search about their rights, the people that stands to help them. So some of them knows better than me.
Yeah. And viewers, just to make it clear, CRC does not mean Constitutional Review Commission. It means Convention on the Rights of the Child. We just have to make it clear because CRC is all over the place. So it's not the Constitutional Review CRC we're talking about, just to make it quite clear. So Sarata, just to go back to the conversation, sometimes we have conversations with our parents and they will say, CRC, it's a foreign idea. Ñun xamuñ children's rights fii nii duñ ko fi def because dafa yaaxa xale ak yooyu noonu. So what do you have to say to parents out there who feel like it's a foreign idea, there's no need for children to even have rights?
You know, sometimes when parents speak like that, I just laugh. Laugh because it's funny. You see, some of these parents are educated, but some of them are not. Some of them are illiterate. So if they start talking like that, you as a child, you're educated and know what is good for you, the best thing is convince that parent. Some of these people say that, you talk and they tell you that these people are spoiling you. You want to stand here and you mess up with me because of this, right? But that is not it. We know every right goes with a responsibility. You have a right, that's true. But if you misuse it, it cannot be completely taken away from you, but it can be seized. So we didn't say that, you said it is my right to have education. You go to school and start disrespecting teachers. Where your right stops is where someone's rights begin. And you always have to know that your rights goes with responsibilities.
Sure.
Yeah. So the parents, sometimes you see a particular person is being raped, and then they will say, Kabilo, this is family issue, so it's
happens a lot.
Culture of silence.
Exactly.
So this Bania issue is what is making our work difficult for us. Yeah. So I think we should sensitize these parents to know more.
But if a child should talk to the parent, like you said, convince your parent, do you think some parents will listen?
Well, that depends on the way the parent is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they totally condemn
Yeah,
it. I don't know
they
if you know
condemn-
that.
yeah.
They condemn it totally. So in that instance, it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to this also, like I said in the beginning, it's not just about the child, it's about a collective responsibility. It's about you, the citizen, that is not even related to the child.
Yeah.
But you have to protect the rights of the child. It's about the parent, it's about everybody. So this is a collective responsibility, I believe,
Yeah.
in relation to really protecting the rights of
Of
the
the
child.
child, yeah.
But talk to us more about the responsibility aspect of it, because I was going to ask you about that. Children, sometimes they sing it. This is my right. I have the right to this. I have the right to that.
Yeah.
But do you think children sometimes fulfill their responsibilities?
No, no.
And I mean, send them a message.
Okay, the message that should be going to children is let them know that anywhere their right stops is where somebody's right begins.
Okay.
I can be doing like this, but I shouldn't touch you because it's my right to make any action I want. But that doesn't mean that my action should I should react towards you. So the message is let them know that anywhere their right stops is where somebody's right begin, and then your right goes with responsibility.
Equal responsibility.
Yeah, equal.
Side by side.
Yeah.
Yes, that is how it's supposed to be. So let's talk about, I mean, this might be a little bit critical, but as the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, I mean, you should know a little about this. I know we will have Mamadou Jallo, Mamadou Ba in the next few minutes. He is a representative from UNICEF. He will come here to further explain to us about these things. But as the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, do you know about once in a while if a perpetrator has been prosecuted? Do you hear about those things once in a while as the Honorable Speaker?
No, I've never heard that.
You've never heard about
No,
that?
no.
I mean, so I think Momodo is going to have to clarify in
Yeah,
relation to that
yeah.
from UNICEF, because sometimes we talk about all these things that we put in place. We have the FGM law, we have the child marriage. I brought up activists the last time, and you know what the activist told me, Sarata? The activist said, we have very nice laws, but the implementation is a problem.
It's not there.
The enforcement is a problem. So having all these beautiful laws, beautifully crafted there nicely, is not the way forward.
Yeah.
What is the way forward, Sarah, for Gambian children?
To implement those laws, let them be in practice.
Let them be in practice. We have to implement them
Yeah.
so that we can clap for ourselves.
Yeah.
But if we just put them there without implementing anything, I mean, we're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah, thank you so much. But what is your anticipation of the celebration? I know the celebration is coming up.
Yeah.
So what is your anticipation? What message do you have for children? You know, this November is a month for children. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
30th anniversary. So
Yeah.
what is your anticipation of how the celebrations will be? in the
How
Gambia?
are we going to mark the
Yes, the day.
the way that we're trying to, because this is a very important day for all of us. So in order, we do not have to sit, fold our hands and say today is CRC.
Yeah.
But the best thing we want to do is to mobilize children, teach them about their rights and responsibilities, tell them what they should do if they violated, because we have many institutions to report to. We have UNICEF, we have Child Fund, we have CPA, we have, even in police stations, we have a child protection unit.
There.
So all these are places where we can go to and report. So in order to make them understand, I think this great day is going to be an opportunity for us to interact more with our fellow children. Yeah.
At that level.
Yeah.
So that is your anticipation
Yeah.
for the day.
Yeah.
What other activity are you planning to have at the level of the Children's National Assembly?
Well, we're planning to have a second sitting in November.
Okay, the second sitting is going to fall on the same day as the
No, it's going to be on the 21st.
on the 21st.
Yeah.
And according to you, the second sitting you're going to have sanitary pads for school-going children will be at the top of your agenda?
Yeah, we're going to make it as part of our agenda to work, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a little bit personal, Sarata, but I mean, what do you want to study? What do you want to study at some point, you know, after finishing your junior school?
Well, I want to study law.
You want to study law?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that is, you know, there's no need to ask why.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, there's no need to ask why,
No,
because Sarata is about to become the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly. So I guess that is it. So which means you have to study arts
Yeah.
and get to study law
Yeah.
and then do your bar. I mean, we will get to monitor your progress because we are all proud of you.
Yeah.
Well articulate, you know, you got to explain everything to us. So give us your final words. Give us recommendations. I mean, celebrations are one thing. It's CRC at 30.
Yeah.
We all know that. But what is the way forward?
The way forward is going to be like the stakeholders, we the children, you as journalists.
Yeah, we have a big role to play.
Yeah, you have a big role to play.
Yeah.
In order for the rights and welfare of the children to go forward, we have to collaborate and help to raise the voices of the children high. Because in national development, hey, if you say like you have to involve children, this one is a child, she should not be there. But that doesn't, this concept in fact is not, it should not be supported.
Okay.
Because though we are kids, but we form the majority in the country.
Yeah.
And we have aspirations, we have ideas, we have plans for the future. They're saying like 30 years to come, they will not be here. We will be here. So I don't know if we are not involved in national development. I don't know what's the future, what the future is going to hold. Because if we are to be the future leaders, and the leaders of today are not trying to involve us, if they are not there, our work is going to be very difficult for us in future. Because we're going to say like, wow, when they were there, we were not taught and all this. We were not been involved. So this work is going to be difficult. So I want everybody to collaborate, because it's not our work, it's the work of everybody. Yeah.
Okay, so you're calling on everybody to put their hands on deck in relation to the protection of the rights of children in the Gambia. Thank you so much, Sarah. This has been a brilliant conversation. Somehow I don't want it to end, but I know this is not going to be our last conversation on the Youth Dialogue. This is your platform. If you guys have anything at the Children's National Assembly that you feel that you need to put forward, that you want government to get to know, or other institutions, you are always welcome. You know, it's that safe space for young people in the Gambia, I call it. So give us your final words finally, and then we will have Momodou Ba, a representative from UNICEF, to take it from there.
Well, my final words is going to be like, children, we're always happy in every environment that we live in or that we are in. So my final word is going to be like, let everybody join hands and support us. Children are vulnerable. Some of them think, those did not think like you do, because you guys are adults. So we're doing youth dialogue. Tomorrow we will be the youths. We will be the elders. So in order for us to manage and to secure the next generation, we have to be secured from today. Today should be our foundation. So I would like to tell all the stakeholders to work hard. I know they're working, but harder.
There's room for improvement. There's a whole lot of room for improvement. I think you deserve a handshake.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarata. We will go for a short commercial break. When we return, we will have Momodou Ba, a representative from UNICEF, to take it from there in relation to the CRC, the celebrations we're expecting, protections of the right of the children in the Gambia, and more. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. When we come back, the conversation continues.
I feel good. Why wouldn't you? When you get to enjoy a massive 50% reduction on your pay-as-you-go data tariff. You know you get to enjoy such amazing discounts with QCell's fantastic network. Enjoy our reduced pay-as-you-go data tariff every day from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. No subscription, no validity period. Simply recharge your account and off you go. QCell, the Gambia's quality network.
Welcome back, viewers, from that break. That was Sarah Tasise, the Honorable Speaker of the Children's Assembly. Now with me, I have Momo Duba, who is a representative from UNICEF to talk to us about the CRC and issues surrounding it. Welcome to the show, Momodu.
Thank you, Jennifer, for having us on the platform.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Now let's talk about how far Gambia has gone. 30 years of the CRC. I mean, how far have we gone?
Okay, so just to let you know that speaking from an angle as a representative of UNICEF when it comes to us supporting government towards the agendas that the government of the Gambia have, most especially with the national development agenda of the current government. I would say when it comes to the CRC, the government of the Gambia has gone very far. You look at it when they adopted the CRC in 1990, that brought about the Children's Act in 2005. And this year, it also brought about the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, which is charged with the mandate of the affairs of children in this country. And the CRC is talking about protecting and guaranteeing and also fulfilling the rights of children. And it has various articles. And one of the articles is talking about the right for children to be heard and listened to. So there is also that platform which has been launched in the Gambia, which is called the Children National Assembly, that ensures children's voices are heard. So just like the main National Assembly have their sittings, the Children National Assembly also have their sitting. But what brought about the Children National Assembly? At regional level, students and also children in communities elect representatives. Then they come to national level, elect a speaker that sits within the National Assembly anytime the children have their sitting, and anytime they have issues that are discussed, these prepositions are passed to the speaker or the cabinet, where government looks into supporting issues of children in this country. So in a nutshell, I would say the government have gone a long way when it comes to supporting.
The government has done a long way, but it seems all of the things that you talked about, having a Ministry of Children and Women's Affairs, having the Children's National Assembly, it all came in 2019.
Yes.
So which means things are just starting to happen. But were things happening properly before?
Yes, because the Children's Act was enacted in 2005.
I mean, that's just, like I was saying with Sarah, that's just a book. That's just a law passed. But how, when it comes to implementation, I mean, we'll come to that, yes.
Yes, so one would say the law was, the Children's Act was enacted in 2005.
Yeah.
So you look at it, it's talking about, it has in it rights or issues affecting children. And what the government has done, they have institutions that are in place and ensuring that staff or representatives of these institutions are at a decentralized level where issues of children happen. They ensure that they are addressed at that level. Every region has a governor. Speaking from a perspective of UNICEF or at a UNICEF angle, we have a program that is called the Nsakeno, where we support the strengthening of capacity of government, civil servants, and also the private sector in the regions and those that are within the community. And we have what is called the MDFTs, which is the multidisciplinary facilitation teams, where you have representatives of different institutions. So when it comes to issues of children in relation to health, in relation to enforcing the law, you have the police. All of these people are involved in the capacity buildings that we do. So they don't know actually what rights of children are and how they should address them at that level. Because every police station in this country, by virtue of what should happen, has a police social welfare officer.
How vibrant are those police social welfare or officers?
Well, at a UNICEF level, I may not be able to respond.
Okay.
So it would have been better if we had a representative from government to give us in detail the vibrancy. But I will tell you from an interaction that I had with these individuals across the country, because like I said, we've had series of capacity buildings for various staff within the Nsakeno program, that is from the technical advisory committee at regional level to the MDFTs that are based in regions. So when issues happen, you see that there is coordination from when the issue happen at community level down to the regional level, and where it cannot be addressed, then it will be moved to the national level.
Okay. So how would the next 30 years be like? You know, what are some of the issues? What are some of the gaps that you think still, you know, there will be that need for those gaps to be addressed?
Well, what we need to first look at is let's evaluate how the past 30 years have been since the CRC was adopted. What has worked well, and what do we think needs to improve on?
Okay.
Then from there we can connect the conversation of what the next 30 years should look like.
Okay, but when it comes to, you know, me and Sarata were talking about laws in the Gambia.
Yes.
We talked about, we have the FGM law, we have the, fine, it's nice, we have all these laws. It's great because it's all, you know, towards the protection of the rights of the child. But do you think these laws are properly implemented? And what is UNICEF doing to help when it comes to the implementations?
So what we are doing at UNICEF to help towards the implementation of these policies is ensuring that, like I said, capacities of the law enforcers or every other individual that has a core mandate to play when it comes to protecting and fulfilling or ensuring that the rights of children are protected, their capacities are built so they actually know what these rights are and when violated, what needs to happen. Okay. So part of the part of what we do is to ensure capacities are built, awareness is created for children. We also have platforms just like the Children National Assembly for children to speak up on voices that for this platform is not just for children, but this platform is to ensure that young people and communities speak up on voices that matter to them.
And then we'll pass on.
Yes. So as you can see, this chart I have, it has U report written on it. So this is a platform that allows for young people to speak up. How it works is, if you have a QCell line, you just type the word JOIN and you send it to 1234. And then you register. Once you do the registration, regularly we send out polls on different thematics.
Yeah.
So it could be on FGM, it could be on child marriage, it could be on education or anything that affects young people and communities. So what we do is we don't just ask questions, but we also send out information of some of these things, of some of these laws in relation to what is happening in society.
I think
so
I once hosted something on the U report, and it's good that you're reminding us.
Yes.
And if you have a QCell line, why not do it? It's simple. So let's talk about how children in the Gambia are going to mark the CRC at 30. You know, how in different regions, is it decentralized, is it centralized, how is it going to work?
Well, it's decentralized, of course, for the fact that the Children National Assembly have regional structures. So obviously it's going to be decentralized. So as part of efforts to mark the CRC at 30, personally, I just came back from a nationwide school outreach to enlighten students about what the CRC is and what we are engaged in. The Children National Assembly, I'm sure you might have heard from the speaker, Honorable Sarata, that they are also engaged in not just school but also community outreach on what the articles of the CRC are saying when it comes to respecting the rights of children or what the rights of children are. We also have regional consultations that are going on because we are hopeful UNICEF will support for a child to go to New York and be part of the main CRC celebrations that will be happening at a global level. But at Gambian context, we will have a sit-in within the time frame of when the CRC document was adopted. So children can discuss issues happening at regional level. Once the conversations are on already, so we should have a resolution on that from regional level, and this will be coordinated into one paper because there is a technical working group that will bring together all the prepositions from regions, and this will be presented when the children have their next sitting.
Okay, so do you think, does UNICEF support young people, like children, to travel overseas when it comes to delegations that are happening, conferences that are happening internationally that has to do with children? Because Sarata was like, Jenna, but we need to be involved in all these decision-making processes because it affects us. So I just want to know, as a representative from UNICEF, does that happen? Have young people be part of delegations in relation to conferences that has to do with children?
Well, we support, how UNICEF works is, we work with the government and private sector in supporting initiatives that they do. So we have implementing partners. For instance, like I just said, we are supporting for the National Youth Council to go with a child to the UN General Assembly on the 28th November, where they will do a discussions around the CRC.
That is needed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is brilliant. I mean, I would have wanted this conversation to go all the way, but it seems we have 3 minutes to go. So you have to give us your final words and, you know, talk to us more about CRC at 30 in depth about how the celebrations will really be to get these young people, these children ready to celebrate. I mean, it's not just celebrating, but we have to reflect.
Yes. So the CRCS 30 is not just about celebrating, like you said.
Yes.
But let's reflect and see from 1989 to 2019 what has happened, what rights have worked, which rights didn't actually work, and what is the way forward for the next generations to come. Because at UNICEF, we believe for every child, every right. So that means every child is entitled to a right.
But Momodu, you have to stress the responsibility though.
Yes, Sarate did talk about responsibility. So once you say right to education, for instance, just to give an example, obviously it's the child's responsibility to learn. Going to school on time, being punctual and regular, reading your books and respecting your teachers.
So
those has to be clear.
And
where your right stops is where another person's right. And every right is accorded with a responsibility.
So Momodu, thank you so much for coming. I know this is not going to be your last because, I mean, he's a big fighter for FGM. We all know that. And other sexual violences surrounding women and children. We all know that. So I guess this is not going to be the last time you will stop at the youth dialogue, but we'll have more and more conversations because we all know the impact that you have been registering even before UNICEF when it comes to activities surrounding children and young people in the Gambia. Thank you so much. So viewers, I went out and about to interview some of these children about how excited they are in relation to the CRC at 30 and some of the recommendations and expectations they have for the future. So let's take a look at that. When we come back, we wrap it up.
You believe that I have a right to protection from all harm, right? I'm sure you agree that every child has the right to protection from harm. Now that you've agreed that no child should be subjected to harmful traditional practices, then how do you think we can ensure that this right is fulfilled? While you consider your answer, hear out mine. I think you and I should speak out against any harm directed at children. Defend every child around us. Encourage our friends and families to protect children from all form of abuse and exploitation because a child is just a child. CRC at 30.
Children going to school is the most beautiful sight. You see us struggling with you in vans and taxis every morning. Some of you just smile and pass. Others offer to help get transport. You are more hopeful for the future when you see us in uniform because you know that a new generation is on the rise. But the third generation is a group of children who are on the move. Some of them are trafficking, others are marching. When they leave their homes, they become more vulnerable. They miss out on good home care, quality education, and love. Every child deserves this. Let us keep our children around us and give them proper upbringing. For every child, protection.
When your kids fall sick, you think about all the things that they could have been doing if they were well. You picture them in their usual early morning smiles as they rush to join friends at school. You imagine them playing with their peers or rushing home for food, or even roaming around the house making a lot of noise. Sometimes you drive them away, but you will always rush to call them back whenever they move out. The smile on their faces as they make fun of you. These are beautiful moments that you lose when your kids are sick. Please keep them healthy. For every child, health. CRC at 30.
Someone asked me what's my favorite food. I could not respond. I enjoy different types of food. Fruits, vegetables, cereals, a lot of them. My teacher told me these types of food are rich in nutrients. She said that when I eat them, I'll be smarter and grow healthier. But every child deserves a nutritious food. No child would choose malnutrition. No child would choose stunting or wasting. Let's provide them with the good food they need to grow. Let's build a generation of healthy and smart people. Let's ensure every child has access to good food. CRC at 30.
You might already know that there's a lot of children without access to formal education. I have access to education. I go to school every single day, but that is just not enough. I don't want children ushering me into a taxi. I do not want to buy my drinking water from a child. I do not want to give my coins to a begging child in the street. I want all of these children in school. I want to share the same courses with them in university. I want to sit on the same table with these children in future. That is what I want, and that is what we should all advocate for. We should all make sure that all of these children are in school and they have access to education.
In my school, I have a lot of great female friends. These girls are very sharp and focused, and they are a great inspiration to me. I enjoy their company because they are very good listeners, and I also learn a lot from them. This is why I would like to see them in school every day, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Every month, some of them miss school for a few days because they are not comfortable coming to school when menstruating. That's not how we should build a system. Let's build a system for all children. Let's make sure that every child has equal and fair rights to education. For every child, fair chance. CRC at 30.
Viewers, that is all we have for you in this edition of the Youth Dialogue. But before I take a leave, just to remind you that this outfit is provided by Alima's Creation. She's right there in Bakau. Her numbers are right in front of the screen. Take it, call her. She'll provide an outfit as nice as this or even better. But wait, before I forget, I have to say this. Thank you to GYCC. You can remember last episode I hosted Eva. She's the one that uses spoons and other materials to make designs. GYCC had to contact her and are ready to support her with a grant and other materials. And I think this is the way forward. I'm just saying this to actually show the impact that we are making, and we are very excited about it. Till I come your way next week with other young people doing extremely well across the country, don't forget to connect with us on our different social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Till I come your way next week, stay tuned.